God has given us each a finite number of days to live. Some of us are blessed so extensively that we live in a part of the world where we have the prosperity and freedom to do almost anything we want and to never die with regrets. Over the next few minutes, we hope to share our journey as we prepare for the journey of our lifetime. As you look and listen to our adventure, think about how you might follow your dreams. With courage and some careful planning, we can do anything. Shelley and I came together in 2001 and blended a family with 4 children. Almost from the moment we met, we knew our lives would not be boring. Shelley and I met while scuba diving. She is a NAUI certified dive master, and I am a NAUI and SSI certified scuba instructor. Together, working over the last 15 years with Groundhog Divers in Kitchener and Papa Hog Scuba Emporium in Cozumel, Mexico, we have helped hundreds of people discover the amazing beauty under our sea. Our other passions are traveling and sailing. Over our years together, we have taken 13 trips to Cozumel and some 31 trips to various other destinations in the world. Although we both grew up around boats, we never owned our own. Soon after we were married, we completed a number of American Sailing Association and Canadian Power Squadron and sail courses. In 2002, we searched for and found our first sailboat together. A 36-foot Catalina sloop we called Seashell. She became our summer home as we acquired some sailing experience together. We loved Seashell, but we knew all along that she was not a boat that would be able to take us on our dream journey around the world. In the early part of 2010, we made the decision that we needed to make a plan with some definite dates if we were ever going to fulfill our dream to sail around the world. After many hours of deliberation, we set a date of July 1st, 2014. That was a date that we were sure that our youngest daughter would be finished high school and that we would be able to travel with her, or she could make her way to university. We had a limited budget and big dreams. And while there are lots of used cruising boats out there, many are not what they seem to be. After many plane trips and 3 failed surveys in Florida and in Texas, we were almost ready to give up. It was just then that Shelley found a 45-foot double-masted ketch in South Carolina. And not wanting to get too excited, we decided that it would be worth one more trip that year to see if this boat is really the one we wanted. As it was when we found Seashell, our first boat, I think we knew that this was the boat for us. The owner had completed some work on this Michael Dufour designed 12,000 CT ocean-going ketch-rigged yacht, and because of his circumstances, it fell into our price range. After a really hot day and some cool beverages, we made an offer. 3 weeks later, my summer vacation began and we purchased an old minivan for $400 and packed it full of our sailing stuff and headed down to pick up our new boat. After an 18-hour drive, we arrived and began the process of getting our new-to-us boat ready for the 1,300 nautical mile trip back to Canada. While we were there, we christened our new boat Blowin' Bubbles. It took just under 1 month to complete our journey home, and during that time, we learned as much about ourselves as we learned about our new boat. We experienced long days and long nights on the open ocean. There was almost a month of lovely weather, but great days were sometimes interrupted by a rain shower or worse, a blinding squall. What we learned along the way is that we had made a great decision buying this boat. Here are just a few photos of the awesome memories we made. After we arrived in Canada, we made the decision to move the boat to a farm just north of Guelph, where a friend from our church generously allowed us to keep the boat there for almost 2 years, the time it took to refit her from stem to stern. Take a moment to see just a few photos of this boat's transformation from a good boat to a great home for our dream voyage. After more than 480 hours and with the help of more than 20 people, Blowin' Bubbles was transformed both inside and out. Take a moment and now look at some of the photos of the finished boat. In the spring of 2013, most of the work was completed and we moved the boat back to Lake Ontario and we launched her. In the winter of 2012, Shelley and I took a trip to the south side of Cuba a few months after Hurricane Sandy passed through. And while much of the devastation was cleaned up when we got there, many of the simple things we take for granted in our life were just not available. We took 50 kilos of school supplies, anticipating that we would give them away while we were there. A few days into our trip, we went by the only means possible, a horse and cart, to visit a small school about 20 miles outside of Santiago, Cuba. We were surprised when we arrived and all the children were erasing a sheet of paper on their desks. When I asked the teacher why, she explained that they were so short of paper the children were forced each day to erase the lesson from the previous day so they could take a few notes that day. The meager supplies that we had with us literally changed those children's lives. For the next little while at least, the few things that Shelley and I brought would make it possible for these children to color and write without worrying about running out of even the most basic school supplies. It was in that moment we both knew what we needed to do to complete our journey together. When we got home, we decided to call this ministry the Right to Write Ministry. That is, of course, the right, R-I-G-H-T, to write, W-R-I-T-E. Over the summer, we gathered almost 500 pounds of school supplies and did especially well when the back-to-school specials were happening. In the fall, we approached the Unified Board at our church, and they made the decision to support us in this ministry. In addition, 8 people from the congregation have agreed to continue collecting and sending us school supplies for this ministry. Our prayer is that other churches, schools, and organizations will get excited about this work and continue to support us with both actual school supplies and monetary gifts that will help us get them to the children we hope to help. This ministry will not change the world, But we hope that as we explore our beautiful planet, we can bring some joy to some children along the way. We believe that the better educated somebody is, the better chance they have to change the world. Please, live, love, and follow your dreams. The only thing that ever holds us back is ourselves and our fears. A new day, a new opportunity. Take it and make the most of every day.